Dr. Eric Adar, and I'm the Chief Information Officer at SensER Health. I'd like to talk to you today about SensER. SensER is a technological solution for a physician executive that deals with lots of data, lots of problems that have to do with running an emergency department billing company. So SensER was developed by physicians for physicians. And let me introduce you to the problem that was at hand. The problem is something you've all seen, which is static reports. Somebody gives you a stack of printed PDFs that are supposed to be an analysis of your emergency department, your facility, analyzing things anywhere from the productivity of your physicians, the RVUs they see per hour. You're sitting there with that stack and you're trying to get business intelligence. You're trying to come up with a set of solutions that you think are appropriate. Soon enough, you understand a couple of things. One is you're being given an excessive amount of information, and B, the information does not help you make decisions. And why is that? Well, there's several reasons. One is you really need drill down capability. And what I mean by that is you need to be able to apply filters to the data as it's being presented to you, so on the fly, you're able to complete your analysis. And static reports that are printed and put in front of you cannot do that. If you try to slice and dice the data in every possible way prior to knowing how exactly you would need it, you end up with hundreds or thousands of different slices, and trying to use your mind and your time in order to glean useful information from that will never work. So what do we do? What SensER does is combines lots of different databases. You probably have an electronic health record. Great. We can get that data in there. You probably have a scheduling software. We can get all that data in there. You probably have a billing company that does your billing. We can get all that data in there. We can combine all these sources of data, which would then allow you to filter the data live, right in front of you. As your physician executive committee is meeting, you'll be able to answer questions on the fly. You have a physician that you're concerned about. Great. Apply the filter to that particular physician and see what is it that's going on with them? What is their change in census over the last few months? How do they work their shifts over the last few months? Nighttime, daytime? How do they change facilities and sites? What is their EM distribution like? What is their RVUs per hour? How many patients do they see per hour? To be able to reproduce that for every one of your providers, for every particular time frame that you're interested in, would be very difficult. So that's number one, is the drill down capability. Number two is be able to integrate multiple different databases. And number three is get the information when you need it. Rather than sit down and come up with a list of reports that you would like to have, generate those reports on the fly in real time. And the last bit, which we did with SensER, is developed advanced analytics. There's lots of data coming in, and the ability of every single one of us to analyze every bit of data that's there and glean useful information, even with the best tools, is limited. So why not use the latest technology, which is machine learning? Let the machine try to understand the data independently of us and try to give us a more intelligent report as to what we need to do. So we have several ongoing projects and implementations of advanced analytics. I'll give you an example. Say you're interested in the question we discussed earlier, which is how are RVUs per hour changing for every one of your clinicians? And say there's 100 of them. How do you know which physicians to focus on? Say everybody seemed like they were within the ranges that you thought were acceptable. You have a new month of data, and you want to know if any one of those physicians or physician assistants has suddenly dropped off for whatever reason. Well, what would that entail? You need to now apply a filter to this data and analyze everyone's data separately. 100 reports, 100 observations, and hours of your time to see if anything changed. Well, why not use the machine? What the machine does for us is it looks through the entire set of data on a regular basis whenever you open the machine, and it answers the question, has anybody deviated over the last month, whereas before they didn't? And if so, let me present you with data only for those that have any significant difference from baseline. So instead of dealing with looking at 100 providers, now you look at 5 or 4 or 3. And once you're focused on those, the rest of the suite is able to help you further analyze what is going on with those 3 or 4 providers that are a concern. A huge time saving and a great application to machine learning in the space of physician executive business suite. Here's another example, cash flow. Every emergency department operation needs to hold on to some cash in order to pay salaries. How much cash should you hold on to? Can you make predictions based on your payer mix, your volumes, and other metrics in order to know when is cash going to be coming in and how much do I need to hold on to? That's another useful application that we have. The third one that's a good example is staffing. How do you staff your departments? What metrics should you use? How should you apply them? How do you know if it's better to have a second physician come on at 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. or 10 a.m.? We help you with that. We munch all this data about patient arrivals. We produce curves that show you exactly when patients come in and allow you to perfectly match those providers to that demand, to the patient demand. And that takes into account their acuity, when they come in, when they get into beds. We have used this product ourselves and saved hundreds of thousands of dollars by allotting the right amount of staffing at the right time, moving providers from times that they were not efficient, not helping the department, to times that they were.